Quick introduction for episode 75 of my weekly diary. Now, in this one, I've got some Kent versus Essex highlights, going through Oxford training and talking about a game I had on Wednesday. So, I hope you enjoy, and quickly, next week should have some of the Oxford game highlights, so check that out when it comes. So this was Kent versus Essex, first game of the season for, I'm pretty sure, both of them. And Kent won 34-15, so it was a really good game. Now, this was my first time, well, technically my second time for playing captain for Kent, but hopefully this one I'm going to try and do like throughout the season kind of thing, because I've never done that before. Last year for Kent, I was captain in one game at the end of the season. But yeah, so this time I'm actually going to try and fight for it. Overall, I think the game went extremely well. Like, at the start, you could definitely see that we've only had 3 training sessions together. The pods were a bit off. Like, we were quite close. We needed more depth. But literally, as the game went on, we did so well. We were starting to be able to form together better. Line speed was getting better. It just got better throughout. And, yeah. Oh my god, I did drop my phone. The funny thing was, like, girls from my college, there was, like, 4 of them on the opposite team. And a few from Bruntwood Eels. So I ended up seeing a lot of people I know from the opposite team. And you know what was funnier? The fact that they put a target on my head. At one point, I was so close to a try line, and then 2 girls from my college tackled me, and I was just like, god damn it. But it was a fun game, I'll give it that. And as captain, I think I did pretty well. I tried being vocal throughout it, and I think that went well, so I hope you enjoy.
So I'm going to do a quick video for Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be actually slightly longer, because finally I have something to talk about. So Monday we went through attack v defence, a lot of line-outs, some mauling and just general stuff like that. It was kind of just repeated over and over again, so it wasn't like changed up. It was attack v defence, bag work, line-outs, scrums, attack v defence from line-outs, attack v defence from scrums. So we were just kind of going over that and going over some calls. So it didn't really change too much throughout it. We had gym in the morning, but it was full body because of the game for Wednesday. Then we have Tuesday, which is absolutely horrendous because I had a 2.5 hour mock. It was either 2.5 or like 2:15, but it was a long mock because obviously our exams are coming up in January, so we're just doing some practice go through. I think I did pretty well. I did end up leaving early because normally I do try and stay like the full length, but I was going over it and I just couldn't add anything. Question 5 was definitely the hardest because there's only 5 questions and that one's out of 23. And yeah, so that's pretty much, like, we did another class, but that was in the library and it just wasn't a lot. But that first kind of 2.5 hours were like, oh god, we've actually got an exam. But yeah, going through, it was a bit weird. Like, I had all my notes, so if you're allowed 4 pages of notes, I had 3. But I'm guessing, like, for the actual exam, I will end up with 4 pages because I don't really want anything missing. But, like, the night of and the morning before, I was, like, going through them all. I was seeing how other people answered them and got high marks. So that was kind of, that was Tuesday. So I hope you enjoy.
So, in this one, I'm going to be talking about Wednesday, where my game. For some reason, the first video I did for it completely, like, it's vanished somewhere. Because I did it pretty much after the game, and that has just gone. So I don't really know where that's gone, that's a bit annoying. But that's fine, I'll do it now. So, on Wednesday, I had a game against Newman's. Now, if we went travelling to Newman's, that would have been a long coach, because they are far. But we didn't, luckily. We're both Ealing, like, we went to their kind of pitch. So we both kind of met in the middle. So for us, it was like an hour and a half trip. And it was cold, like, probably our coldest game of the season, like this season. And it's just going to get colder. So that's great. I thought it went really well. We won, like, the score at the end was about 15-point difference. But that was just because they scored in, like, the last 30 seconds. Which is a bit annoying. But not much you can do about it. We still won and everything like that. So the final score was 49, I think it said 31. I'm pretty sure that's the score. I will correct myself if I'm wrong later. Overall, I thought I did really well. This was like one of my best games of the season. Dog. And my coaches agreed with that as well. I also feel like this is the first game where I was able to, like, continuously run around the pitch since my injury, because I feel like my stamina is finally kind of getting back to where it was, because it was so low when I first started back. So that's really good, and I'm really happy with that. But it was funny. So, like, because it was so cold, I had Joker's jumper and a massive jacket they make us wear because we're subs. And, like, every time I needed to be cooled on, I'd be, like, taking off layers to be able to run on. And at one point, they accidentally called me on instead of someone else. And I'd taken it off, and I'd gone back, and I'd put everything on. And I was just like, oh, my God. This is, like, quite annoying to do, but it was warmer than standing there in shorts and a T-shirt. But, yeah, I had some really nice runs, protecting the ruck a lot. And, yeah, just kind of going through, like, things like that. I played lock for, like, one scrum, and then it got called as a reset, and then went back to hooker. So throughout the game, I was prop. And then, which was good in, like, scrums, but I did screw up the one line out where I had to move, which is a bit annoying. The thing is, I knew what I was supposed to do. I just didn't know how fast it was because I'd never been in that sort of position because I was at the back of the line-out. So I kind of had to sprint over and I just kind of missed it. And I was like, oh, damn it. So that wasn't my favourite thing. But scrums went really well. And then it was like last minute they put me back on, and it was the most confusing minute ever. Because they told me to take a lock off and then put someone else as 8, so someone got a yellow card. And the only position that left for me is a lock position, and I may be versatile, but I cannot do lock. Like, the first one I was like, I didn't even remember to put my hands for it. I was just like, why am I here? Why am I in this position? I don't know what I'm doing. And then just kind of everyone scrambled round the scrum. And then I ended up as hooker. And yeah, it went fine after that. But it was definitely very confusing. But I've got some good highlights from it. Not like loads and loads of highlights, but the ones I got, they're pretty good. And it's just kind of because camera angle and everything like that. And like when it was called for the backs, you could just see me quickly pass it around. So it was all kind of like connected gameplay and everything like that. So I hope you enjoy. So quick video for Thursday and Friday. Thursday was school, but it was quite funny actually because the boys in the class were making so much racket, and I said to the teacher, like, look, this is going to kill me off. And he sent us to a different room. Like, there's 3 girls in my class. There's normally 4, but at this point there was 3. And we all just sat in an empty classroom getting our mock notes done. And it was so much nicer. And then we moved classrooms again because people had to use that one. And it was just, I think it was supposed to be like a uni study room kind of thing. And it just had like egg chairs and beanbags everywhere. And it was lovely. So we pretty much spent the whole day doing exam notes because next Thursday we've got our mock for business, which is the less exciting exams, so I wish myself luck. And then Friday, it was supposed to be a hard session, but I think they looked through the footage, and they're like, actually, it wasn't that bad, because they thought it was worse than it actually was. But, yeah, so instead of doing all this hard kind of stuff, it was actually a lot easier. So we did gym in the morning, had a break, did meeting analysis. So that was just kind of going, like, what do you think went well, what do you think could have been better? If you had to describe one word to explain that game, what would it be? I think my word was chaotic. So it was just kind of stuff like that. Then we did skills, which was lineouts, completely lineouts, and then moved into the actual training drill. And that was like attack v defence, but nothing was like too hard, like double shots, but it was all on bags. And I think it was just trying to get us like slightly closer with each other, knowing what we're doing, being able to communicate without actually going, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, and kind of knowing what the other person is going to do. So it was very much like that. And it was a good session. It wasn't too hard, but it was still quite nice to do, and it was a bit fun. So it was a lovely session on Friday.